So today is our 60-minute all-level class. Today we're actually going to begin lying down with knees bent and soles of the feet on the floor. We're doing this because we are focusing on the low back today, which I'm actually very excited to do. I'm going to focus on low back pain. So just make your way down if this is a comfortable position for you today. Torso flat on the floor, knees bent, soles of the feet on the earth in line with the hips. As always, really nice to have a pillow, blanket, any blocks, any props. Can be really nice. You can place that blanket or prop on top of the stomach to feel a little bit more grounded, or you can always place it underneath the sits bones if you want a little bit more padding. So just make your way down to this position. Allow the arms to extend long alongside the body. Palms can be down or up. Just settle into this space, into the here and now, this Monday afternoon. Feel the soles of the feet connected to the earth. The pelvis rooted. Lengthen the pelvis down toward the heels. Gently tuck the pelvis underneath, lengthening the pelvis down toward the heels to prevent pinching in the low back. Gently focus on the low back. Allow your attention to pull in the low back, the area that we will be focusing on today. Feel the gentle curve in the lumbar spine. Feel any sensations there, any tightness, any spaciousness, openness. Feel the torso long and heavy on the earth, the shoulder blades grounded, the back of the head heavy. Relax the muscles of the face. The brow and the cheeks. Gently allow the tongue to be heavy in the bed of the mouth, not pressed up against the roof. You can gently begin deepening the breath now. Inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling to the count of 6. So count at your own pace, inhaling to 4, exhaling to 6. Just gently deepening the inhalations, lengthening the exhalations. With each inhale, feel the torso expanding, filling with air, filling with energy and life. With each exhale, allow a little bit more tension to melt away. Allow yourself to melt into the floor. Continue inhaling inhaling 4 and exhaling 6. Making the exhalations slightly longer than the inhalations to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and restore. So as you breathe, just focus on the low back. We'll be focusing on the low back today. Allow your attention to gently return there. Feeling any sensations that are arising for you right now. In the physical body. You can gently shift your attention to the heart space. How are you this Monday, I believe the last Monday in April. Be with your emotions, sit with them for a full round of breath. Once you feel complete there, you can gently shift your attention to your mind, to your thoughts. What are the quality of your thoughts right now? Be with that for a full round of breath. Nothing to change and nothing to fix. Be compassionate and grateful for your mind as it is right now. Beautiful. We can gently begin incorporating the Dirga breath, the three-part or complete yogic breath. Right hand can gently find the low belly, left hand can find the heart space if you want that little self-assist. So the three-part Dirga breath is completed in 30 parts. We inhale the first third into the low belly, the second third into the ribs, and the final third into the chest. And you exhale completely, chest, ribs, and belly. Relax toward the earth. So continue with the Dirga breath at your own pace, allowing your attention to move from the belly to the ribs to the chest as you inhale. Full and complete exhalations. Try to send this breath to the back body. As you inhale, notice not only the belly expanding upward, the low back, the lumbar spine expanding. Notice the back of the ribs lifting, expanding 360 degrees. Feel the shoulder blades. The muscles between them stretch as the inhale moves all the way up into the chest. Exhale completely with all of that air go. Continue with the Dirga breath at your own pace. I apologize if you're hearing construction noises in the background. Just be mindful of any sounds in your space right now. Continue with the Dirga breath if it feels comfortable for you right now. And as I've briefly stated, we will be focusing on the low back today. It's a region that often causes a lot of us strain and discomfort. It's because we live in a culture where we sit in chairs. More often than not, we sit when we work, we sit at our desks, we sit at home, on the couch, we sit when we drive. And because of all of this sitting or sitting culture, we often have poor posture and a weak core, as well as tight hips, all three very important components for having a nice, beautiful, healthy spine and reducing that low back pain. So today we're going to be focusing on those areas. An attempt to loosen up the low back, just be a little bit more aware of our low back and our posture throughout our daily lives. Awesome. So take one more Dirga breath. Inhaling belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, release it out. You can place your hands at heart center, palms together in front of the heart. Take a moment or two, set your own personal intention for our practice today. Anything that rings true, anything that resonates right now. Love, compassion, could simply be focusing your attention on that low back. Whatever rings true. We'll take a nice big inhale to seal in that intention. Nice long exhale, release it out into the universe. The hands can extend down long next to the torso once again. All right, we're going to inhale. And exhale, squeeze the knees in toward the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Thank yourself for showing up today. You've already done all of the hard work by simply showing up on your mat. Let's take a couple rounds of breath here. Even just this simple posture, we're releasing the low back. Feel the belly press and expand outwards into the legs. You can begin introducing a little bit of motion, just rocking side to side. Gently massaging the low back, massaging the internal organs. Awesome. Come to stillness when you feel complete. We'll allow the hands to relax, palm down onto the knees, not the other way around. And we're just gently going to begin moving the knees in a circle in one direction. Knees stay together. Just some slow knee circles in one direction. Feeling your weight shift as you do this. Torso extended long on the mat. When you feel complete, gently switch the direction of that circle. Moving with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Awesome. You can come to stillness whenever you feel complete. Inhale, squeeze the knees in for one more second. Exhale, gently release the soles of the feet back down, coming back into that same position where we were, soles of the feet planted and in line with the hips. Awesome. I just want us to become a little bit more aware of our pelvis in space, because that very much has to do with protecting and preventing pain in the low back. So you can place your hands palm down gently on the low belly. Gently just begin tilting and tucking your pelvis. So arch the back to tilt, round to tuck and lengthen the tailbone down toward the heels. Just become aware of your pelvis in space. So when we are tilting the pelvis forward, I'm going to try to exaggerate this so y'all can see. When we tilt the pelvis forward, I've also mentioned this in previous classes, so you may remember mentioning this before. When you have this exaggerated tilt forward in the pelvis, we pinch the low back, which is not so good for the low back, pinching those nerves and those muscles. So you want to lengthen the tailbone down, toward the heels, draw the belly button, the navel up toward the sternum to have a nice strong core. So that's how we prevent our pinching in the low back, and you'll probably hear me reference that throughout the rest of our practice or in future practices. So just have that awareness of where your pelvis is in space. Awesome. All right, so walk your heels in toward your hips. They do not have to touch, just walk them in. Extend the arms out long, palm down next to the torso, preparing for our bridge pose. All right, so soles of the feet are nice and planted, hands are nice and planted, shoulder blades are beautifully planted as well. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're gently going to press the hips up toward the sky. Shoulder blades squeeze together, wrapping underneath the body. And breathe here in our bridge pose. If you'd like to add another little layer of difficulty, make it a little bit more difficult, add some intensity, you can inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Wherever you are, just simply breathe. Feeling the belly expand and press upward. Release any tension that you do not need. This position, this posture requires some activation in the glutes. Let's see if you can let a little bit of that tension go. Notice if you're gripping hard anywhere else, if you're clenching the jaw or furrowing the brow. Take a couple more rounds of breath. Full inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Hands can release down next to the torso as well. Slowly release down, feeling every vertebrae connect. Take a full round breath. Beautiful. Exhale. Walk the feet so they're a little bit further apart than hip distance, about as wide as the mat. We're going to inhale. One of my favorite postures if you've been consistently coming to class. Exhale. Allow the knees to gently drop to one side. Inhale back up to center. Exhale. Allow them to drop to the other side. Hands can gently release down on the low belly. Move with the breath here, gently stretching the hip flexors. The further wide, the more wide your feet are, the deeper you're going to access these muscles. So feel that gentle stretch in the hips and the low back. One more on each side. Allow the knees to drop to either side. One more time. We'll inhale back up to center, heel, toe, the feet together so they're again in line with the hips. Going to inhale and exhale, squeeze the knees in one more time. Take a full round of breath here. As you exhale, gently begin rocking back and forth. We're gonna rock back and forth, adding a little bit more motion each time until we find ourselves in a seated position. Take your time. Nice and slow, just gently rock up to seated. Oh, awesome. You can come meet me in a cross-legged position when you're ready. Beautiful, hands can relax. Palm down on the knees, just take a full round of breath. Allow the blood to flow downward. Great. All right, we're going to inhale, arms up to shoulder height. As we exhale, we're going to drop the right ear toward the right shoulder, so the ear drops toward the shoulder doesn't rise up toward the ear. As we do this, the fingertips of the right hand are going to press forward. The fingertips of the left hand are going to press back, so press into the heel of the left hand. Inhale and exhale, gently melt the shoulders down the back. Just opening up the median nerve in the arm. Inhale. Exhale gently. Allow the head to rise back up to center. Fingertips rise back to center. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So inhale. As you exhale, left ear drops toward left shoulder. Right hand reaches back. Right fingertips reach back as the left fingertips reach forward. Feel this gentle opening in the arms and the neck. Inhale. Exhale, gently rise back to center, and you can release the arms down. Palms are going to find the knees. We're going to do some gentle cat-cows, gentle flexion and extension of the spine. If you do not have time to do yoga throughout your day, do some simple cat-cows. They're beautiful for opening up the spine and opening up the hips. So hands release, palm down on the knees. For cow, we arch the back, crack the heart, space open, look up to inhale. Exhale, round, chin tucks toward the chest. Arms extend, long inhale. Move at your own pace. Just gently opening up the spine. So again, if you don't have time to do anything else throughout your day, just take a couple cat-cows. Great for creating space. Take one more. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. We'll inhale back up to center. Awesome. We're going to sweep the legs to one side, roll over the knees to come into our very first tabletop position of the day. Awesome. As always, option to come up onto fists if we have wrist sensitivities. Option to place extra padding underneath the knees if those are feeling sensitive. So nice flat back. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, just gently begin some nice table circles. Inhaling as you reach out over the wrists and exhaling as the sits bones drop back toward the heels, almost like a child's pose. You can even begin incorporating some gentle cat-cows, the arching and rounding of the back. Next time the sits bones are toward the heels, gently switch directions. Moving that torso in a nice big circle in the opposite direction. Opening up the spine, the hips, and the shoulders. One more nice big circle. When you're ready, come to stillness. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to teach 2 ways that you can get into our low lunge, which will be applicable later as well. So if you'd like, the easier of the 2 options, you can simply, from your table, take your right knee and swing it through, planting the sole of that foot in between those legs, or I'm sorry, in between those hands. And then you're in our nice, beautiful low lunge. If you'd like to do the more difficult option, you can, from your table, tuck the back toes, inhale up into your down dog, taking a moment, a round of breath here. And then you can bend the right leg and swing it through, planting the sole of that feet between the hands, just like we did from our table, and lowering that left knee toward the earth. So however you want to get to your low lunge, on the right side, we'll get there. You can walk the hands up to the knee, take a moment, check in, make sure we're at a beautiful 90-degree angle. If you want it to be easier, you can simply pull back. It doesn't have to be that all the way 90, but as long as you're not extending the knee out over that ankle. All right, we can inhale, arms up, biceps come next to the ears. Exhale, melt the shoulders down the back. Take one full round of breath here. Fingertips spread nice and wide. As you exhale, left hand is going to find the earth, plant underneath the shoulder. Always the option to come down onto a block, blanket, pillow, anything like that. And right arm extends upward, coming to a gentle little twist. Take a couple rounds of breath here, noticing how the breath may feel a little different. Inhale and exhale. Gently rise up, allowing the hands to find the knees. One more time. All right, we're going to be coming into lizard pose, which might be a little intense. We're going to get into a very deep muscle in the hip, the psoas muscle. So I definitely recommend having a blanket or a prop, anything like that. So first, what we're going to do, hands can stay on the right knee or on the hips, whichever feels better for you. We're going to tuck the toes of the left foot if they're not tucked already. And we're going to walk our kneecap back a couple inches. So walk that kneecap back, really plant it, the left kneecap, really plant it firmly into the earth. We're going to take our right foot and gently heel toe that out to the right, so out toward the right edge of the mat. Opening up our stance. We walked that heel back so we could access that psoas muscle in the left hip crease. So you might already feel a little stretch in the hip crease there. To come into the full lizard, we're going to inhale and exhale, gently fold forward. Hands can find the earth both on the inside edge of our right foot. They can find a prop, a blanket, a pillow, if they don't extend all the way along. If you'd like to make the stretch even more intense, this is even a little difficult for me, you can walk that foot out a little further and come down onto the forearms. If we're coming down onto the forearms, or if we're in our upright position, just be mindful that the knee is staying above that ankle, not opening up out to the right side. So wherever we are, just breathe. Feel that stretch in the left psoas muscle, that hip crease wraps all the way, connects to the femur, wraps through the pelvis and connects all the way to the lumbar spine and the low back. Feel that stretch in the right hip flexors. Feel the pectoral muscles stretching as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale and exhale. Gently rise up. Hands find that right knee. You can walk that right foot back in so it's in line with the hip, and tuck the left toes, gently bringing that left kneecap back forward. Awesome. Take a full round of breath here in your low lunge. we're just gently going to introduce a little bit of a counter posture. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're simply going to extend the right leg long, fold forward over that right leg. The toes can stay planted, or you can lift the toes of the right foot to feel it stretch a little differently. Inhale, bend the knee, come back into our low lunge. Exhale, fold forward, just a little bit of a counter posture. One more time, inhale for our low lunge. Exhale, fold forward, feeling that gentle hamstring stretch. We'll inhale back to center. Allow the hands to plant on opposite sides of that right foot, and we'll swing our leg back through, coming into our table. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So however you got into low lunge on the right side, do the same thing on the left. You can either swing that left leg through from table or push up into down dog. Taking a full round of breath there. And you can swing that left leg through and release the right leg down onto the earth, whatever feels nice for you. Take a moment, hands rise, come to the knee or the hips. Settle into your down dog. I'm sorry, here I was just in down dog, into your low lunge. Settle into your low lunge, make sure that knees above the ankle. When you feel ready, you can inhale, arms up. Exhale, melt the shoulder blades down. Take a full round of breath here. Pressing forward, pressing into or pressing that left hip crease forward. Inhale and exhale, right hand finds the earth or a prop directly underneath the shoulder. Left hand extends up long. You can look up at those left fingertips or keep a nice neutral gaze, looking forward. Feel this gentle twist. Inhale and exhale, allow the hands to find the knee. We're going to move into lizard pose on the opposite side. So we begin by tucking the toes of the right foot if they're not already there, walking that right kneecap back. Really plant it into the earth. Feel it connected and rooted. All right, next we're going to walk that left foot, heel toe it out to the left. You can grab your prop if you need that right now. Feel that gentle stretch in the right hip crease. When you're ready, we'll inhale and exhale. Hands are going to find the mat on the inside edge of that left foot. Always the option again to come up onto fists if wrists are feeling sensitive today. And breathe, feeling the hips open. Try to have a nice long spine. Squeeze the shoulder blades together to shine the heart forward. Press that right hip down toward the earth. One more round of breath. Exhale. Come back up. Hands find the left knee or the hip. You can walk that left foot back in line with the left hip. Tuck that right toe and step that knee forward. Awesome. We're going to do our little counter posture, our little low lunge kriya on this side. So we're going to inhale in our low lunge. Exhale, fold forward, straighten that left leg. Fold forward over that leg. Inhale back to the lunge. Exhale, fold forward. Toes can be planted or they can lift. Inhale one more time. Exhale, gentle round of the back as you fold forward. Inhale, back to center. We're going to plant the hands on opposite sides of the foot. Swing that left foot back. Allow the knees to be nice and wide. Big toes touch. Sink back into your child's pose. Arms can extend long. Forehead finds the earth or a prop. Inhale and exhale here, feeling the release in the low back, any spaciousness in the hips that we created. Maybe we send the breath to the low back. Release the low belly. Awesome. We're going to press up into our table. Tuck the toes of the back foot. Inhale to prepare and exhale. Come into potentially your first down dog of the day. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Make sure we're pressing down firmly in all knuckles. Hips press up toward the sky as we drive the heels down. If you'd like, you can walk your dog. Pedaling your dog by bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel toward the earth. Feel that hamstring stretch. Awesome. Inhale. As you exhale, you can walk, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. So feet, however you get there, feet come to the top of the mat. They land directly underneath the hips and we fold forward into our ragdoll. Slight bend to the knees as always. You can clasp opposite elbows, interlace the fingers behind the head. Sway side to side. Allow the arms to hang heavy if they aren't there already. Dramatic bend in the knees as we roll up nice and slow. Rebuilding the spine while the head to come up last. Awesome. Take a moment, hands at heart center. Reconnect with that intention. Beautiful. Feel the blood flowing downward. Pulling in the feet. Feet nice and grounded. Awesome. You can release that out. We'll take a couple moments, do some empty cup sleeves, shake it out. So, your arms to be nice and heavy. Imagine that you're a little kid walking around in like your dad's coat and you're whacking your siblings with your sleeves. So simply allow your arms to be nice and heavy, just sway side to side. If you'd like, you can incorporate the legs, so as you twist to the right, the left heel can lift. As you twist to the left, the right heel can lift. Gently incorporating the legs. Just allowing the upper body to be heavy. You can gently begin to slow it down. Slowing it down at your own pace until you come back to stillness. Awesome. Great. Check in with your feet. Make sure that they're directly underneath hips. Slight bend in the knees always. Take a moment. Be aware of your pelvis. Become aware of your pelvis. Just lengthen the pelvis down toward the heels. Lengthening the pelvis down toward the heels, drawing the navel up toward the sternum, nice strong core. Just be aware of that throughout our standing postures, okay? All right, we're gonna inhale, sweep arms up, out, and around. Fingertips interlace at the top, except for our index and our thumb. Coming into our temple. Exhale, release the shoulders down the back. Inhale, reach up through the fingertips. As we exhale, we press into the left hip and reach up and over to the right. Grounding down through the outer edge of that left foot. Even here, notice if you can lengthen the tailbone down. Lengthen the tailbone down, preventing that pinching. Nice, strong, beautiful core. Always the option, the left hand can find the hip if we're the right hand can find the hip if we're feeling shoulders are a little sensitive today. Inhale and exhale, gently rise back up to center, release the shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale, press into the right hip. Reach up and over to the left. Be mindful of the shoulders. Notice if they're rolling forward, rolling back. Keep them nice and in line with the hips. Breathe, feeling that stretch in the right side body. Lengthen the tailbone downward. Inhale. Exhale, gently rise back up to center. Release the hands down to the sides. If you're not at the tops of your mats, we're going to step there. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. As we inhale, as we exhale, again bend, nice flat back, fold forward, swan dive down. We're going to inhale, halfway lift, hands slide up the shins. Come up to the knees, nice flat, beautiful back. Exhale, release. We're going to step back into our down dog, so plant the hands, stepping back into your down dog for one round of breath. Making sure we are pressing into all fingers. Inside edges of the elbows rotate toward each other. Nice long line of energy from the fingertips to the hips and the hips to the heels. All right, so if you want to, we're going to be getting into our warrior two. If you'd like to make it a little easier on yourself, you can step back into our standing position, our Tadasana, and simply step back with the left foot coming into warrior two. Or we can bend the right leg and swing it through, planting the sole of the feet between the legs, and using our nice strong core to rise up. Left heel rotates down, finds the earth. I'm going to rotate myself so I can see you guys. So right foot stays nice in line. Toes of the right foot are facing the short edge of the mat. Left heel rotates down, finds the earth. Outside edge of the left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Feet are nice and in line. Front right heel is aligned with either the arch or the heel of the back left foot. Hips open up to the side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend into that front leg. Nice, beautiful warrior twos. You can look out over those right fingertips if you'd like. Even here, maintaining a nice, beautiful, strong core. Reach out through the fingertips, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Taking a couple rounds of breath here. Drive down through the outside edge of our left foot. Inhale and exhale, straighten that front right leg, release the arms down to the side. We're going to come into our triangle. So step that left foot in about 6 inches or however much feels comfortable for you today. We are going to inhale, arms up to shoulder height. This also requires a very strong core, okay? So as we exhale, we're going to press out through this left hip. So pressing out through and reach forward like someone has a hold of your right fingertips. We're going to reach forward like someone's pulling you forward. So reaching out through the right fingertips, pressing out through that left hip. And when you feel like you can't reach anymore, we simply windmill the arms, stacking the left shoulder on top of the right. Right hand finds the right leg wherever feels comfortable. Left arm extends up toward the sky if that feels comfortable. If not, you can always find the left hip. So breathe in your triangle. Trikonasana. You can look down at the floor. Have a nice neutral gaze. Look up. Can be helpful to physically grab onto the left rib cage. Rotate it up toward the sky. Gently stretching muscles in the torso. They're required for a beautiful posture. One more inhale. As we exhale, imagine that someone's pulling you up with your left fingertips. So we rise, nice strong core. Beautiful, you can release the hands down. We're going to rotate our hips toward that front right leg, planting our hands on opposite sides of that foot and stepping back. One breath in our down dog. However you want to get into our warrior two on the opposite side, that's your choice. So you can either step to the top of the mat and step back with one foot, or I believe it would be the right foot, or you can take our left leg, swing it through. Rising up, nice strong core, nice strong foundations. Right heel rotates and finds the earth. I gotta flip myself again, so I make sure I'm facing out. Check in with your alignment before you move into this posture. Make sure you're in a nice, beautiful line. If feet are in line. If you're all good to go, you can inhale, arms up, and exhale, bend into that front leg. Checking in with that front knee, making sure we're not hyperextending. And breathe. Check in with that right hand, that back right hand. Oftentimes, if I'm not paying attention, or let it drop or come up, so just make sure that it's in line with the shoulder. Drive down through the outer edge of that right foot. Even here, notice if you can lengthen the tailbone down. Awesome. Inhale and exhale. Straighten the legs, release the arms. Step that right foot in. All right, preparing for our triangle. Inhale, arms back up to shoulder height. As we exhale, press out through that right hip. Reach, 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 reach forward with that left hand. When you can't go any further, simply stack. Right shoulder on top of left. Left hand finds the shin. Rotate that right rib cage upward toward the sky. Breathe. Even here, driving through the outside edge of that right foot. Feeling how the breath may have shifted, may flow differently in our triangle. Feeling our nice strong cores. Inhale. Exhale, like someone's pulling on the right fingertips. Rise up. Awesome. You can release the hands down. Beautiful. Rotate the hips toward that front leg. Windmill the hands to frame that front foot. Step back into down dog. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to ask us to come to neutral table because I'm going to give us another option again. I don't want you guys to have to hang out in down dog while I'm trying to explain it. So we're going to come into pigeon pose. Really beautiful pose for opening up deep hip flexors as well. I don't think I've had the chance to do this with y'all yet, so I'm excited. So you can get into pigeon from table simply by taking your right knee, sliding your right knee toward your right ankle, and opening that calf up to the side, out to the side so that the right ankle is underneath the left hip crease. And you could walk that left kneecap back like we did for our lizard, planting it into the earth. And that's how you could get into pigeon one way. Or from our table, you could lift into down dog, taking a round or two of breath there. And then we could lift the right leg coming into three-legged dog, keeping the hips nice and square toward the earth, pointing that right foot, taking a round of breath, and you can bend the knee, bringing it in through, right knee finds the right wrist. Right ankle is right underneath that left hip crease like we were before. So take your pick, come from table or from down dog, but we're in our beautiful pigeon. Come up onto fists. I like to do that if we're feeling a little tight. Take a moment, rock side to side. Imagine your pelvis like a bowl of water. So just rock side to side until that pelvis feels nice and neutral and even. If you like, it can feel really nice to grab some extra padding and place it underneath the right glute. All right, so wherever you are, you can stay here. If this is an intense enough stretch for you, if you want to go a little deeper, you can fold forward, coming into reclined pigeon, making a pillow for your head with your hands and releasing your forehead down. Wherever you are, just breathe. People have a love-hate relationship with pigeon as it accesses very deep muscles in the hips. But these muscles are so important for our good posture, strong cores. We're going to inhale. If we're in our reclined pigeon, gently press into the hands, rise up. Hands are going to plant under the shoulders, and you can either Come back into your neutral table or lift into down dog. Oh, awesome. So however you want to get into pigeon on the opposite side, either by coming down into table and sliding that left knee forward, or by lifting the left leg up in our down dog, coming into three-legged dog for a round of breath, hips square toward the earth. Inhale and exhale. If we're in our three-legged dog, bend the left knee. Left knee finds the left ankle, left heel, is underneath. Let me start that again. Wow. Left knee finds the left wrist, left ankle is underneath the right hip. There we go. Walk that right kneecap back, planting it into the earth. Take a moment, come up onto fists. Rock side to side. Finding that nice neutral pelvis. Always the option to grab onto padding, place it underneath the left hip crease. The left glute if you want that extra added support. We're going to inhale. You can stay here if you'd like, if this is enough stretch for you. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can fold forward. Relaxing down onto the mat. Wherever you are, breathe. If the stretch feels too intense for you, always the option to just back off, hang out in child's pose. Hang out in a seated position and breathe. Wherever you are, just breathe. Send the breath where it is needed. Inhale. If you are in your reclined pigeon, you can come up. All right, we're going to tuck the back toes. Slide that left knee back, coming into our table. Allow the knees to be wide, big toes touch. Sink back to child's pose. Breathing here. Allowing any tension to melt away. Allow the forehead to find the earth or a block or a prop. Gently just begin rocking the head side to side. Feeling that pressure in the third eye. Just gently releasing. Come to stillness when you feel ready. All right, awesome. We're going to press up into our neutral table. Sweep the legs to one side and come into a seated position. Legs are going to extend out long in front of us. Take a moment, wiggle it out. Wiggle out the legs. Feel that energy that we created dissipate. We're going to squeeze our right leg in, bend our right leg, come into a seated spinal twist. So the right foot finds the earth on the outside edge of that left foot. We squeeze the knee in with our left arm. Reach the right arm up. Inhale to reach the right arm up to shoulder height. As we exhale, we twist to the right. Gaze follows the hand. Hand relaxes, right hand relaxes down on the earth. Behind us, wherever the hand lands. You can peek out over the right shoulder. If you'd like to make the stretch a little bit more intense, you can bend the left arm, coming to cactus arm. Plant the elbow on the outside edge of that right quad, gently increasing the stretch. Feel this gentle twist. Feel all of the toxins being wrung out from the body. Inhale and exhale, gently unwind, coming back to center. Extend that right leg long. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So bend the left leg, sole of that foot finds the outside edge of that right knee. Squeeze the left knee in with the right arm. Extend and inhale the left arm up to shoulder height. As we exhale, twist, opening up to the left. Left hand finds the earth behind you, whatever that means for you. And you can stay here or bend that right arm, pressing the elbow into the outside of the left femur, the left quad. Pressing into the quad to gently increase the stretch. Look out over that left shoulder. And breathe. With each inhale, imagine yourself growing taller. The crown of the head reaches up toward the sky. With each exhale, twist a little deeper, wringing out a little bit more tension, a little more stress. Inhale and exhale, gently unwind. Coming back to center. Left leg can extend out long. I'm going to relax down, coming down onto forearms. Relaxing down onto the earth. Take one moment, we're going to bend the knees, grab onto the big toes, taking a couple rounds of breath in our beautiful happy baby. Knees draw in toward the armpits. You can rock side to side. You can extend one leg, extend both legs, whatever you want to do. Play around for a couple rounds of breath in your happy baby, releasing the low back. Awesome. Inhale and squeeze the knees in, taking a full round of breath here. Say thank you to your body for everything it can do for you. Exhale, release the feet long on the mat. Get whatever you may need to prepare for your beautiful Shavasana, a sweatshirt, maybe any props to go under the knees, to go on top of the stomach. Maybe take a couple Dirga breaths to ground yourself into this space, inhaling belly, ribs, and chest. Maybe reconnect with that personal intention. When you feel ready, you can release all focus on the breath. Feeling your body heavy on the earth, feeling your bones connected, feeling your muscles unraveling and melting. For a moment before we begin our little body scan, focus on the low back. How this area may feel different from when we started our practice, not even an hour ago. Notice how much more aware you are of this area of your body. The pelvis and space. Awesome. Gently allow your attention to glide all the way down until you find the soles of the feet. Notice the soles of the feet, any sensations there, any tingling, coolness or warmth. Notice the tops of the feet. Feel your ankles. Notice the shins and the calves, the strong muscle
and relaxed. I'm sorry, strong bone and relaxed muscle. I'm going to set it the other way around. Notice the kneecaps, the gentle crease behind the knees. Notice the quads. Feel your hips and any spaciousness we created there. Again, just gently allow your attention to pool in the low back. Noticing the lumbar spine. Gently allow your attention to trail upward to the thoracic spine connected to the ribs. And the cervical spine and the neck. Notice the shoulder blades, heavy. Notice the forearms, the elbows, the palms and the wrists. The back of the hands. Gently trail your attention back up to notice the space between your neck and the earth. All the air and the spaciousness there. Notice the back of the head. And finally, the muscles of the face, the brow, jaw, the cheeks. Allow the tongue to be nice and heavy, not pressed up into the roof of the mouth. For the next few moments, just allow yourself to be here. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Nothing to change and nothing to fix. Whenever you feel complete, maybe take a nice big sigh, maybe swallow. Take a nice big deep breath. When you feel complete, you can begin incorporating a little bit of motion, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Take a nice big stretch, reach the arms overhead. Be mindful of any beverages that you may have around you. Awesome. When you feel complete, roll over onto one side, giving your knees a nice squeeze. Give yourself a nice big hug on whatever side is calling you today. Full round of breath, and we'll gently rise up into a seated position. I'll scooch closer so I can see all your faces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, everybody, close out our practice, placing our hands at heart center. Oh, you can't even see me. I just realized that. So we'll place hands at heart center and take a nice little bow. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.
The light in me honors the light in you. Thank each and every one of you for joining me today. I hope our back feels nice and relaxed and released.